Well, hello there. Welcome back to Better Minecraft Minecolonies. Now, you might have seen in the fly-in intro that we're getting very close to finishing our civilian skyscraper. Basically, what we need to do on the colony is get a lot more civilians into this place, but we are quite hard-pressed for space. So what we're doing is we're creating an artificial shell to hide cave-style buildings inside, and we're going to stack those on top of each other so it looks pretty cool. And this is what it looks like so far. Now, even though it's a skyscraper, we've been very keen to keep it in a kind of wooden medieval style. So I'd say it's like roughly 60% complete, but we are a long way off finishing it because mostly we need to do some research at the town hall to make it so we can have more than 100 dudes, because at the moment, that's what we're locked to. Anyway, forget about people and colonists, because this episode, we're going to be harnessing the power of wind. That's right, this big old functional create windmill on top of my house is perfect for us to start building a sugarcane farm. Our colony needs a whole bunch of paper, books and sugarcane, and the thing that's holding us back right now is getting that into the warehouse. So using the power of create, today we're going to be building a sugarcane farm, and I'm going to walk you through that and show you how I do it. So without further ado, let's jump in. But before we do that, one thing we're going to do is check out the town hall, because this got upgraded to level 4. Oh, good job, Mixer Endo. This got upgraded to level 4, and you guys were in the comment section saying, what does it look like inside? Because I always look at the outside of a building, but unlike Let's Build, the interiors are pretty cool too. So let's take a look around. So we've got the underground bit here, the basement, which kind of has like a bunch of prison cells. Very cool. Very cool indeed. I guess these are like toilet holes, maybe? Yeah. And then when we come upstairs, you can see this is where the Nether Brick is. Okay. Got a back door here. Very nice. Oh, what's that? Like an oven chimney thing? Okay. Oh, right, yeah, for the fireplace. And this is where the clock has gone, above the fireplace. Obviously, the best place for it. And then moving upstairs, more of the same. It looks pretty swish, though, and I'm definitely down for this. One thing that sucks though is the rooftop is pretty bare. In fact, you can go up into this tower, but there's not much up here. Yeah, oh, except the bell, of course. So forgetting the town hall for a moment, one of the big things that I realized, I didn't even notice this, but yeah, the farm is the first level 5 building we've got that's not a builder's hut, and we never even looked inside. So let's give this a scope out. Oh, also I've set up a create windmill on the farm, just to give it a bit more character and charm. There we go in the background. So yeah, if we dodge the pumpkins and the melons, you can see this is a fully fleshed out barn now. Pretty cool. There's a back door, but all that leads to is the windmill. And I think this is where most of the exotic materials for the build end up. Yeah, now what we could do is turn this into a functional create windmill in the end, but for now we'll leave it as it is because the farm is functional and yeah, good stuff. Also, stepping over to the university, let's check on the research, see how far it is through, because it's not quite that far. Yeah, 4 of 4, civilian village. Yeah, so we're just over halfway through by the looks, and yeah, maybe next episode we can finish up the skyscraper and get more than 100 dudes. And of course, let's come over to the suburbs now and take a closer look at this bad boy. So I've been hard at work putting in decorations to make this place look like it's all plumbed in and good to go. I had to carve out some of the hillside here and put these trees in these stone brick bins that honestly I think is a great way of preserving the trees but formatting the landscape into something I can decorate. Anyway, yeah, it's still not functional, it's still got a long way to go, there's a lot of decoration that needs doing. Also, these houses need to be upgraded to the level 5, at the moment they're level 1 or 2. Everywhere is accessible, the bottom floor is accessible down here, and we've built this cool little kind of like bridge and staircase around the back that lets us get up, oh watch out, skeleton horse, lets us get up to the 2nd floor. Oh, and the guards have already started to patrol up here, which is great news. We can decorate here with some hedges and some flowers, and maybe put like a feature here in this wooden bit down here that's a bit empty at the moment. But yeah, once the houses get built, this is going to look a lot more fleshed out. However, at the top floor, we're going to have to do something pretty exotic up here to make the skyscraper look really special. So we'll wait and see what we do with that later on. So let's get over to the meat and vegetables of the episode. We're going to go over and create a farm for sugarcanes. Now to do that, I'm going to need the basic blocks from Create. So we're going to go over to the warehouse and collect up everything that we're going to need. So yeah, luckily enough, our miner has been digging up loads and loads of the materials that we're going to need desperately for Create, and they have no other use, so it's been doing nothing but gathering dust on these racks. Good for us. So if we search through the warehouse, the first thing we're looking for is copper, used in Create, and we have 262 ingots. That's going to be more than enough. Anyway, what I'm going to do is come over to these racks. Oh yeah, look at this. Radial chassis, mechanical bearing. I'm going to gather up all the things I need and then meet you back at my house where we'll go over it. But I'm going to need copper ingots, probably 3 stacks. Probably 3 stacks of zinc. Cobblestone is always useful. Oh, also, what I'm going to do is open up my backpack. Here we go, my white backpack. And I'm just going to store everything in here now so that I have plenty of room. And I can go through this with you in a second, so we'll see what we need. So here we are back at home base, and above us is the windmill. So let's go and create the basic things we need for Create. If you take a look in the backpack, you can see mostly what we need is just copper, zinc, we've got some iron here as well. All of this stuff I might need, but I'm not quite sure yet, and a healthy supply of dark oak wood. And of course, cobblestone too always comes in handy. So yeah, here's a list of most of the things we're going to need to get this farm built. So we're going to use shafts, gear shifts, large cogwheels, and small cogwheels to get the power down from the windmill all the way to the farm that we're putting outside the back of the house. Then the actual farm is going to be a minecart that travels around the sugarcane fields. We're going to use a cart assembler to attach our farming rig to the minecart. Then the farming rig, which is going to be made up of chassis and harvesters with a chest on top, is going to do a lap of the field. Then when it goes under the cart assembler, it's going to drop off the harvester at the cart assembler. The minecart will travel around again. Then while it's there, we'll gather up the sugarcane from the harvester, the chest, and then the minecart will go around the lap again, doing it constantly until we get loads of sugarcane. There we go, and then the stash is going to be where the colonists' couriers are going to pick up the sugarcane and take it to the warehouse. So that's the plan. Let's get to it and see if we can design this well. Now if we go upstairs again into the actual tower, what you can see is I've kind of already dragged the power down from the windmill. You see these shafts? They go all the way down, and yeah, the power ends here. But what we're going to do is we're going to drag the power out the back now, like this, and take it down here to where we're going to have our sugarcane farm. So the first thing we're going to do is get our shovel out and dig a trench. This is going to be where the water is going to go that feeds the sugarcane, but then above the water, we're going to have the rails that have the harvester that's going to gather up the sugarcane. And that sounds pretty complicated, but I'll show you what I mean. And we're going to keep this a healthy distance away from the edge, so let's get started. Okay, and so fast forward, this is what we're going to do. This is going to be where the minecart goes all the way along this trench in a loop and then comes back round. And it's important to do a loop because I tried a farm before with Create. There was a backwards and forwards one, but yeah, there were problems with redstone that meant it kind of lagged out and broke. But with this loop system, this should be a flawless design. Now it's time to fill in this trench with some buckets of water. So I hope you guys are having an amazing week so far. What is it, Wednesday now? And yeah, Halloween is around the corner. So what I want you guys in the comment section to let me know, if you watched through this far, is what is your favorite thing to dress up as? I mean, most people have dressed up for Halloween. So yeah, if it's been your favorite costume, let me know. Or if there's a costume that you would always want to pull off, like a cosplay, let me know that too. Like, personally, I've always kind of wanted to cosplay as Kratos from God of War, but there's 2 problems with that. One, I'd need to shave my head to achieve that look, and also, number 2, I'm just not muscly enough to be Kratos from God of War. I mean, a man can dream, right? Need to put in more time down the gym. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what your favorite cosplay is, or what your favorite costume for Halloween is, and I will heart your comment, because most of you guys got last week the fact that Aragorn, yeah, he kicked an Uruk-hai helmet. But there we go, looks like the entire area has been filled in with water. Oh, look at that beautiful reflection, which means we are ready to put down the sugarcane and the rails. So let's go and do that. First up, we're going to need some sugarcane, so let's go over to our ad hoc farm in Farming Valley to go and pick that up. Oh my god, it's Toby Carnage again. From, what was it, My Chemical Romance? Was that where he's from? I don't remember. One of those animes. Now, one thing you guys have said in the comment section as well is that to improve the efficiency of this farm, I could use waterlogged slabs in between the sugar canes to make it so it grows properly. And yeah, I should do that, I know, but I haven't yet, so there we go. And now we're moving to a create farm. I shouldn't think I'll need to worry about it. So let's get back and put down these rails and sugar canes. Man, now hang on a sec, this is dangerous. Can you imagine climbing down the ladder and you're not looking where you're going and all of a sudden your butt hits an unguarded saw blade and suddenly you just got yourself a massively gaping hole. Doesn't sound too pleasant. So without further ado, let's put down the sugar cane. I thought about waiting until the end before I put down the sugar cane, but honestly, I kind of want this to grow as soon as possible. Wait, why can't it go? Oh, right, yeah, it can't go on corners. I want this to grow as soon as possible so that we can get the maximum amount of sugarcane as soon as possible. And okay, that's all we can manage for the time being, but if we wait long enough, this will grow and we can get even more down. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty now, the real important part, and that's right, it's the rails. Now, first up, we're going to need a block to put the rails on, and we're going to use the oak logs that I brought in my backpack. Yeah, here we go, the dark oak logs into dark oak planks for that. Oh man, so there are some new exciting games coming out. I've recently been trying to do Overwatch, and I haven't done my placement games yet, but I'm hoping I'll land in like maybe gold, maybe if I'm lucky diamond or platinum, whichever one is the better one. No, I think I'm probably platinum at best. But yeah, there's some pretty exciting games on the horizon. I'm a big Battle Royale fan. I love Apex. I love the other one, Fortnite. Yeah, it's good. But also, yeah, Warzone 2 comes out pretty soon. That's going to be pretty good. I'll give it a go at least. But also, yeah, like literally a week after that is the launch of Dragonflight. And I'm looking forward to playing that. Maybe playing it on the channel, maybe doing some streams with it. Because what I want to do is create a guild. Oh man, have I run out? Oh no, there we go. A guild for it because, oh, this is much quicker, isn't it? Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, I want to make, oh whoops. I want to make a guild for it and yeah, do some raids. Because I never really did the raids in Shadowlands. I did the first raid and that was it. I did it in Heroic as well. That was fun. But as always, I kind of stopped playing before the second raid came out. So yeah, I missed all of that. I have to go back and do that in Raid Finder to catch up with the story. Because I hear the story is, well, I've heard bad things, but you know what? I'm quietly confident. Oh man, yeah, there we go. So that's the entirety of this loop completed. Now we have to put down the rails. Now some of these are going to have to be powered rails, but we'll work out the best ratio for those once we're finished. So there we go, everything is set up. We've got the sugarcane, we've got the minecart track, and yeah, we've got power coming from the windmill. Now we need to look into the science of this. So we're going to need a cart assembler, and let me use the create tutorial to show you how this works. Moving structures around using cart assemblers. So a powered cart assembler mounts an attached structure to a cart, just like that. Without a redstone signal, it disassembles the passing cart. With the help of chassis or superglue, you can make larger structures so we can make a nice big old harvester. Oh, if I use a wrench, I can detach the cart with the harvester attached. Oh, that's cool. So I could design this somewhere else and then ship it over here. That's pretty cool. Right, so it does change orientation when the minecart moves. They rotate to face towards the front of the minecart. You can hit it with a wrench to make it not turn. So that could be useful, but not for us. Assembling carriage contraptions. Whenever two cart assemblers share an attached structure, powering either of them will create a carriage contraption. Oh my god! Those carts will behave like they're connected via coupling. Oh man, so we can make an actual train with this. That sounds freaking amazing. Now that all sounds quite complicated with my explanation because I'm not very good at explaining these kinds of things. However, what I'll do is I'll do it and you can see what I do. Now, one thing that's crazy is that this entire setup does not actually use any power from create windmills. So I mean, why have I done it out here? Well, maybe we'll have a use for create windmills in future. In fact, if we want to use conveyor belts, we will need some create power. So let's do it. Cart assembler. We're going to need logs, andesite alloy, and redstone dust. We can make andesite alloy by mixing iron nuggets and andesite. So let's make a whole bunch of that first. So a cart assembler, here we go. Redstone, andesite alloy, dark oak log. So we're going to replace this rail right here with a powered rail. Boom. And then put the cart assembler on top of it. And there we go. It's facing this way, so I guess we're going to go this way first. Now we're also going to need on this harvester a couple of actual harvesters, mechanical harvesters. And the way they work is just like this. Basically, whenever they touch crops that are grown, they dig them up, and if there's an inventory attached to this structure, it will put the crop into the chest or inventory in the structure. So if you put the chest on the train, that should work, right? Yeah. So to make the harvester, what we're going to do is attach some chassis to each other to basically make like a bit of a shape that looks, well, kind of like a harvester. And so for that, we're going to need some chassis. So here we go. Linear chassis is just andesite alloy and logs, no sweat. So what we could do is use chassis like this, and this is a simpler way of doing it. We just attach chassis like so, and they're all connected as you can see, and when the cart comes underneath here, it should attach this upside down U, or N I suppose, as it goes through. But this looks kind of boring, so what we're going to try and do is use super glue from Create. I've got some. Yeah, there we go. And what this basically does is means you can turn any block into chassis and glue it all together. So we can start with a slab on top, glue the side, like this. It looks very messy here, so we might not use the slab. Then use some oak stairs to stick it together. Oh no, it disappears, so that's much better. Boom. Then we use some glue on the bottom here, like this. And there we go, we have a bit of a different looking kind of harvester. Oh, good job, Cat. And this is what we're going to go with for now. Now, there are other things we can do to this. To make it look cooler, we can use any old blocks to make the actual harvester. So what I might do in future is make a bit of a prettier design of a harvester, but for now, this should work. Now, we're also going to need the harvesters and the chest, so let's make those. Aha, but to make the create harvester, we need to crush some iron with a mechanical press. So we've got to make a mechanical press. Oh, this is where going into a mod... Oh no, we've got one. Cool, a mechanical press. And if we use W to ponder, you can see how this works. So we do need a platform for it to press onto, but yeah, this is basically how it works. I think we did this in all the mods 6, so yeah. There we go, pretty simple. And you know what? I think that's a great use for the windmill inside our house, so let's get to it. Oh, there we go. The researchers just finished rich veins. We might even get the other village research done this episode as well. Very cool. So we're going to put the mechanical press at the back here. Oh man, all this work just to get a paper farm, but honestly, it's going to be worth it because once we get enough paper, we can get all of our librarians, all of our scholars, all of our students and pupils working to get their stats up, and that's going to be really big for us. Oh no, that's facing the wrong way. Then a shaft that comes along here, and underneath here, we're going to put the depot. Now, what happens if we put an iron ingot on the depot? Oh yeah, very, very, very slowly, but we are going to get some pressed iron things. Now it does them one at a time, which is not ideal. So here we go again, a dab of glue on the front, and we'll put down these harvesters. Boom, boom. Wait, there we go. And when the sugarcane gets up to 2 blocks high, it'll come around here and trim the verge, so to speak. And what we're also going to do is put a chest on the back of this. And this is going to be where the sugarcane is stored. Now what we can do is use this inventory to pull out of and put the sugarcane somewhere else, like in a stash maybe. Oh man, we're just storming through the research. Amazing stuff. So what I'm going to do now is replace some of these dark oak planks with redstone blocks and put powered rails on top so that we have a minecart that goes all the way around the system undisturbed. So here we go, let's get inside a minecart and give this a test run. And I think this is the best way to work out where you're going to need to put redstone powered rails, because this gives you a good idea of how far a minecart can travel before it runs out of steam. I think here's a good spot, right here around the edge. Yeah, lovely. Now, one thing I'm not sure of is, does having like a weight attached to it with the cart assembler mean the minecart needs more juice? Well, we'll have to find out. Yeah, perfect. Now it's powered. So let's give this thing a test. Here we go. Push. And off the minecart. Wait, what? That's not supposed to happen. Oh, I guess it needs a lot more power. Okay, here we go. Another try. And I'm not gonna sit in it this time. But this should work, right? This should give it enough power to just start storming around. Why does it slow down? Yeah, that's very weird. With me inside the minecart, this thing does not lose any momentum at all. Okay, well, let's see what happens here. Oh, yeah, look, there we go. Oh, it works. Okay, so with the chassis attached, it does go round in a pretty good speed. Oh, man, look at this. This is amazing. This thing's a beast. Very spooky, and the fun doesn't stop. It just keeps looping around. Now, like I said, this is a very ugly setup. The minecart moves a bit too quick, and the harvester itself doesn't look that amazing. But honestly, the fact that this works is really, really, really cool. Let's turn off the redstone now and see what it's gathered up. Does it have any sugarcane in its inventory? Yes, it does. It's also shaved off some leaves, it looks like, from one of these trees. Amazing. So we have our harvester working. How are we going to get this thing to go around and then stop here to unload the inventory? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the powered rail here is not always on. So sometimes this thing is going to come around and it's on, so it keeps going. Sometimes it's going to come around and the rail is off and it stops. And while it's stopped, it's going to empty its inventory. Okay, so fast forward into the future, and I've had to make a couple of changes to my setup because basically it didn't work. The cart went all the way around, came back, but yeah, it kind of didn't really restart properly. And I'll show you what I mean here, because if I put down a redstone torch, what I need to do is give this cart a push. It'll attach the cart to the assembly here, the harvester, but when I break this, you see it goes back to normal. But yeah, the problem is it doesn't give it momentum when you give it a signal, so you have to manually give it a push, and we don't want that to happen. So what we've got to do is we've got to change our setup. Now I'm going to break this redstone torch because, yeah, as you can see, when it comes back around, it stops. Now I've had to go around and basically replace most of the rails here with powered rails, just so the minecart has enough momentum to get around the track without an assembly rig on top. Now what you can do is, once you have your harvester attached to a minecart, you can use a wrench to pick up the whole thing. And now you have the complete harvester and minecart in your inventory. So we need to dig up this cart assembler and basically, yeah, replace this with a normal rail, not a powered one. And so what we need to do now is make sure that when the minecart comes through here, the first time it picks up the assembly, goes around, does all the mining, and then when it comes back around, it drops it off, and the minecart continues, goes around and does one lap, while the harvester is emptying, and when it comes back, it picks it up. So we need a redstone signal that goes on, and then off, as the minecart goes through here. Now the way we're doing that is we're going to use an item from Create called a powered toggle latch. Oh no! Calamity has ensued. So one of my guards has come along and just tried to ride my rail. Oh no, and it's making my harvester go the wrong way now. Oh! Okay, but at least it's cleared this out. Okay, and we'll stop the minecart here, dead in its tracks. Wait, no, yep, now turn around. Okay, now this should be everything good to go. We'll dig up this redstone here, we don't need that. Get rid of this signal here, don't need that. And this should be good to go. So the minecart comes under, there's no signal, so it keeps going. Now there is signal, so this time it'll stop the cart. The harvester will stop on top, and the cart will keep going. Fingers crossed. Yeah, there we go. Whew. Okay, finally. So now what we need is a way to get items out of this chest, because as you can see, it's picking up the sugarcane. But where is it going to put it? Oh no, the guard has done it again. This guard keeps trying to use these rails to get a... Oh my god, what's going to happen now? Oh my god. Disaster narrowly averted. So this is a look at the finished setup. Basically, yeah, we've got a detector rail here. This activates, the signal goes around and toggles this latch. So the minecart goes around once with the harvester, then once without. While the harvester is docked here, these chutes interact with the chest and bring the sugarcane all the way down to the bottom. Aha, and as you can see, the chute has dropped off the first sugarcane. Perfect. So what we need to do now is, instead of having the sugarcane here, we need to put down a stash. So here is a stash, like so. And at the moment, this is empty. So let's go and put some sugarcane up there and see if this deposits into the stash. Now, this is a bit of a nervous moment because it might not work. So here we go. Once this cart comes around, it'll pick up the harvester and chop up that piece of sugarcane there. Boom. Now that sugarcane is inside the inventory of the harvester. We're going to come down here and yeah, it should get dropped off now. Oh, and there we go. Courier Kenjiro Parker will come along to do a pickup right away of the sugarcane. Oh, amazing. So that whole system works. So there we go. The system now completely works. It took me quite a while actually to work out all of the problems with this setup, but now you can see it 100% works correctly. There's a cart assembler, a powered toggle latch, a detector rail, and loads and loads and loads of powered rail. Now, it costs us a lot of gold and iron and materials to make these powered rails, but the fact that we have an automated sugarcane farm now is priceless. Are there more efficient ways and different ways to do this? Yes, but the reason why we've done this is because cart assemblers are going to be super key for us making a train that goes all the way around the colony as a really cool way to get around the colony. Anyway, thank you for watching. A massive thank you to my subscribers, my Patreon members, and my YouTube members. You guys are freaking amazing. Now that we've got the village research, next episode we can finish the skyscraper and get those houses built, get a bit closer to 200 dudes. But until then, thank you for watching and take care.